So this HTML editors in brief. Now this is also might be repetition. When you are going to test HTML pages, you have to make you have to test HTML source code verification. Do this verification. This can be done automatically, and a lot of sites which are available for doing that. Okay, so you submit your HTML code, they analyze that, and come back with the suggestions. Also, there are sites available which allow you to test code on a different browsers at the automatically. Okay, I believe I have linked to that site here. Just a sec. I believe I have it. No, but it's worth to do it. Let's see. Let's go to Google. If they provide that. No, it's I believe I cannot find it easily. No. No, it's what happens is that there is this engine which allows us to freely test that, but the free testing will come with the time. So maybe say you have to wait half an hour or 1 hour. So what happens is that you provide your HTML code, and it will specify the browsers. You have all combination of browsers, maybe say 100 or so, and then you put check marks, and this site goes and validates your code against all these browsers and come back with a suggestion saying, you know what, your HTML page is not looking good on this particular one. Okay. So that's a free service. If you like to get paid one, that will be much faster validation, and also you can download some executable for that. Several companies do that, including Microsoft. Microsoft has free version for testing different versions of Internet Explorer. You can actually load specify operation system and go that. Unfortunately, I don't have links here, but I wish I would. I'll try to bring next time. So it's very useful site. And also, this might be also optimization of page performance. This is not done by QA typically. This comes from development. They come up with ideas how to optimize performance. Might be splitting the huge images, might be removing empty spaces in HTML code, and so on, so on, so on. So you are not involved in that optimization. Hypertext link validation definitely should be done, and there are services available which I'll do it automatically. There are also scripts which you can write if you sit on the other classes, and then these scripts can go and validate all broken links and make sure that the links existing. And point to the valid location. Also, you have to pay attention to the outstanding web pages, which may serve as a good example how to solve particular problems which you are facing. This is actually not only job for developers, but for all people, all organization. So if you are if you can come up with the suggestions, that definitely will be good. Especially in the situation when you don't have UI designer in the company, or a person is working part-time, whatever. In that case, if you can come up with a suggestion, that definitely will be a good idea. So now you have to HTML verification of HTML source code verification, hypertext, link validation, outstanding web pages. These two can be automated, and also getting help from developers and webmasters. Definitely, if something is unclear, design is unclear, definitely talk to webmasters. Especially if you have automation script which will automate the testing of these web pages, then any single changes in a web page may actually have some effect on your automation script. Knowing that in advance definitely will help you to keep in pace. Okay, So HTML code validation, we can use different validators available on the internet. You can get a list from here. And they are changing, constantly changing. Some good ones just stop working, some new ones popping up. I cannot give you the list and make sure that it's not obsolete by the next class. Okay, that's why I'm not doing it. Anyway, but you can search, Google it, and find it out. Okay, so next thing which we are going to cover are style sheets. Okay, cascading style sheets, which definitely you will face sooner or later because this is a very popular technology, and this allows to solve some important problems with the HTML, and not only HTML. So, and the problem is the following. So far we were creating HTML pages, and we're using different tags to make these HTML pages look okay, right? We did that. So if we analyze our activities, we'll realize that we're actually coping with two problems. Problem number one is just putting text into the HTML code, right? What I would like to be shown on a page. And problem number two, how to format it correctly. Some people using EM tags or bold tags, remember that? H1 text and so on. Essentially, you are coping with the formatting and the coping with the problem of putting the correct information in the web page. Now, this actually was kind of a testing environment of actual learning. But imagine that if a person is doing that on an everyday basis, then this person is definitely facing two big problems, right? Putting correct information into the page and correctly formatting it. And the number of activities this person should face is definitely becoming overwhelming. Number of tasks it should do. And then it will be a very good idea if we separate these two from each other. Okay? If we actually split the team, one part of the team will work exclusively on HTML context, will be busy of providing text or contextual information, and another part will be busy with formatting this context. Okay, in that case, we actually could separate these two big tasks into these two small, and then it will be efficiency will definitely will be higher. Okay, so that's done using cascading style sheet, and this is the illustration of that. So let's assume you need to create a web page, and then that web page should have some specific style. What you need to do, you need to open Notepad and create the following code here. This is not HTML code. This is another language which is called CSS. So when you create this code, you have to save this document as special.css. Okay, and again, all files, not as a text file. No, all files. It's not a text document. It's a CSS document. And when you save this document, you should see that kind of a wheel appearing through this icon. You should be able to open it in a browser, and it should. I mean, you should see the text which you put here. Okay, I'm showing it. Okay. This is 81. I copied this code. This is not HTML code. Please observe that this is not HTML. So I'm opening Notepad, pasting this information here, okay, and save as. I give a name like special CSS, and then select as all files. Okay. So when I save this, I will have the document there. But anyway. Special.css. Let's this one. You see the icon here appearing? It's coming with this kind of configuration wheel. So if you double click on this, you should be able. It should be open in Notepad again. So okay, the information is not lost. It's basically stored in a different document. This is CSS, cascading style sheet. Yeah, it's not supposed to show fireworks or whatever. No, nothing. When you double click on this file, it should be open in a Notepad and so on. Yeah, what's wrong here? No, it should be separate document. That document should contain only these 3 lines of code.
Oh, you don't want it, right?
No, no HTML, absolutely no HTML. This document should contain these 3 lines. Don't add anything else, don't modify it, don't do anything. It opens Dreamweaver, yeah, because Dreamweaver is indicated as a program to open CSS files. Okay, you can change that if you don't like it. Okay? Yes. Okay. The document CSS should contain these 3 lines. Okay. Now let's see how we're going to use this. What's good of it? Now, next thing which we are going to do is following. We are going to create this document in Notepad. The CSS document and this test HTML document should be located in the same folder. And here what you have to have in your HTML code. So observe here that we are referring to special here within this HTML code. Okay? And we are referring to the document here. So let's do that. Let's create this HTML code. Make sure that it's working. Or can be open in the browser.
That thing you just made?
No, close that. This is another document. This is another Notepad document. And in that another Notepad document, you have to put this code. So it should work. Now you're supposed to see this output. Okay? Now let's assume you created a web page and you have multiple text like this. Okay? So you have green text in a red rectangular, and you have in multiple places. And you go to the boss next day saying, you know, boss, I created this page. And he got angry. He said, I don't like this. Okay? I like it reversed. I like, say, for example, green border and red text. Okay? Change it. Now, if you don't use style sheet, what you need to do, you need to open a document and change one by one in multiple instances. If you have CSS, you need to change in only one place. What I need to do, I need to open the CSS code. Say, for example, where is my special CSS? This is my special CSS. What I need to do is say, okay, my boss doesn't like green color. Okay, I put it in the red. My boss doesn't like border the red. He likes green, solid green. Save it. Okay, when I reload this document, you see that I reversed the colors very easily. And I did it only in one place. If I have huge HTML documents, whole site depends on this style, I have to change only in one place. Okay, that gives me extreme power over the style, how my page will look like. And I can control not only this, but I can control all other layouts of the page, which actually is a very powerful technique. So observe here that the text remains the same. I have nothing to do with the information present, right? The text, this paragraph should have a special green text, whatever, is remaining the same. I didn't touch HTML portion. What I touched, actually, I touched the CSS. CSS can control the layout of the HTML page because I separated them into the different files. This gives you very big flexibility. And as a QA engineer, you have to actually pay attention to the CSS files because you may not find all layout straight into the HTML page. Even more, most of the layout is actually nowadays is put in a CSS because that's convenient and that gives you flexibility and it's very efficient. Okay, that's an illustration of CSS, and CSS not only used in HTML but other languages as well. Okay, any questions? No, all clear? Good. So, and then you can change the colors the way you like. It's up to you. So no problem with that. So let's go to presentation. You can actually, instead of having separate files, you can specify styles within the paragraph itself. We've seen that a code similar to this before. We can say style font size 12 points, color red. And then this text will appear in red until the closing of the paragraph. Okay, we can do that as well. And the style format which we use is say name, column, value. This is actually not HTML language anymore. This is CSS language, and they use different formatting and styles. Okay, so this is another example of fine-tune of the format. For example, this H1 tag has normal H1 formatting. This has special one, for example, with the border, with the text alignment, and so on. We can do that fine-tune as well. And then we can also apply to specific headers using, say, H1 my class from the CSS document. Okay, any questions so far before we move forward? No? Yes, go ahead. H1 size to specify the size of the font. This is probably not a good idea because this style specifically applies to the H1 tag, and I'm not changing the style, but I'm changing its appearance only. If you like to change the size of the font, I assume you are going to use font tag. It's called tag font, and then you specify size over there. Okay. You say size will be, for example, 24 pixels, and that will be bold, and even more. You can specify the font name. You can say that will be in Tahoma, for example. Here you mean? This is yes. You can specify the font and the style at the same time. You can do that. Okay. But this is a specific example because I'm not changing the size of the font. I'm changing only its border and alignment, okay, but not the size. But if you need to change the size, you can do that as well, okay. But in that case, there is no point of using H1, okay, here. Anyway, that's what it is. Next is exercise. So you have learned enough HTML in order to be able to reconstruct this resume at least all the way to here, this working experience. You should be able to create this portion in HTML. Let's try to do that. Okay, you can create a new person. This is actually where this resume is located. Don't try to copy and paste from there. Okay, it's not right. So try to create a. You can change name, you can change address, whatever. But try to recreate this portion at least in HTML. Okay, you can use online emulator. You can use Notepad. It's all up to you. Let's start doing that. Okay, let's try to do it together. See what we can reach. So essentially, it seems pretty easy and straightforward, but when it comes time to create it, it's not so easy, right? Okay, so what we'll do, we'll actually create new. Okay, I'm saying, as you see that Damian Cave appears as a bold, strong, and then that appears in the middle. So what I'm doing, I'm saying HTML. First of all, I have to create that anyway. I have to say header part, and also closing header part, because I'm not going to put anything here. Definitely you can specify title here. We should do that, but for in time reasons I skip that. And after that I'm having body. So within the body, so I'm saying H1 1 align equals center. Okay, after that we have address, right? Say 444 Saratoga Avenue, and then say Springfield, searches, and then the zip code. Okay, and then we have phone number, right? Oh, that's not a good number. Okay. Okay, something like this, and also we have email address, right? Now the trick is that if I do this, like let's save this resume exercise size.html, specify all files, save it. Let's see how it will look like. I misspelled the extension, HTML. Okay, if I open this, this will appear kind of distorted. So besides that, I was looking for some special characters here, placed between the address and the email. Okay, what I can do here, I can actually create small images myself and place there. So if you go to the Untitled Paint application, you can create this small icon yourself. So let's see, zoom it to large size, view custom, let's say 800 pixel, 800%. So this is my image which I created. Okay, so just when you are creating image, there was one trick here. Make sure that this white background is actually filling the image as close as possible. So what I need to do, I need to just move it into upper left corner here, okay, and then resize the background, because this is actually background contributes to the size of the image. Okay, I increase 800 to 800 times, 800%, and then create it by clicking the canvas, and then I created this image. Now I'm saying image normal size. You see that it may look like excellent excellent diamond, okay, shape. So, and then I'm going to save this image, save as. Definitely the proper format for this is for this image. Nope. GIF. GIF, because it contains only two colors, white and black, right? So I'm saying this is a spacer, spacer.gif. And I'm going to save in a folder where I'm doing all my exercises here. In this case, HTML class. Okay. Yes, okay. Save that. So let's go to the HTML code, modify that so it will include this image. I'm saying this is 444 Saratoga Avenue, Springfield, Massachusetts, this one. I'm putting let's put this image here. I'm saying img src equals spacer, so that GIF, and also another image I'm going to put right after this one and right after this one. Okay. Oh, double quotes here? Yes. Oh, that's correct.
Do you have the same folder?
Yes, that image should be located in the same folder as the rest of the files and elements. Okay, I have it here. Let's save it. Let's reload this guy. It doesn't load. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, a spacer is not found. Spacer is here. Definitely the small rectangular here. But it does not show it here. Let's see if I made some mistake. Image source spacer. See if I space. Okay. F2. Copy. Let's go to the code. Probably misspelled that. I don't think so, but nevertheless. Spacer GIF, spacer GIF. Okay, image source equals spacer GIF. That's okay. Image source spacer GIF email. This one. Okay, save it. Let's reload this guy. Something weird happens. It doesn't work. Image source src equals, that's correct. And no, this is the resume exercise.html. That's correct. This is absolutely correct. HR is not shown here. It doesn't pick up the latest choices. Okay. No, it doesn't pick up these changes. What's wrong with this guy?
Does it matter if there is a space?
Where?
Over there, after the first space or div, there is MI, and there is a space.
Oh, here?
Uh-huh.
Sure, doesn't matter, absolutely. But image source, let's see if I specify Google, I mean another image. Let's see if it's picking up. Say we have one, no, we have, no, not this one. I need smaller one. Okay, I can take this, doesn't matter. Okay.
How do we know it's small enough?
Let's see. Let's see if I substitute this image with something else. Just like to test if the page is working. It is not. Page is not working. For some reason it's stuck. That's good. Good exercise. Okay, let's remove this guy completely. Okay, let's save this. Problem might be that a browser does not pick up the small image, but in this case, nothing happens. It didn't they didn't pick any image at all. That's strange. Something weird. And the code is correct. Code is correct. That's okay, but as soon as horizontal line is not shown either, it's something strange. Okay, let's continue. That's very weird, but let's continue. So after that, we have horizontal line. You can use a U tag to underline the profile. This profile should be underlined. It's very strange. It does not show that. Say, I'm saying U tag, saying profile, and then closing U. Okay. After that, it goes some text with the profile, whatever. Here's we have BR tags here. Okay, if I save this and reload in a browser, browser will completely ignore my code. It should not happen. Something wrong with this. I try to load another browser. Let's see. Okay, it might be cached, but it should be clean. Open with Internet Explorer. Nope, it's the same. This is resume exercise, right? Maybe I'm opening the wrong file. Let's see that. Open with Notepad. And this is my, oh yeah, this is, sorry guys, I was opening wrong file. This is HR, which creates horizontal line. And here I have to say Saratoga Avenue, Springfield, and then specify the image. G source equals spacer, so dot GIF. Okay, let's see how it will look like in a browser. Yes, this should be exactly as this. Let's see. You see, I got it. Okay, I got the image. So it's a matter of going into the specifying that in a Paint. So what I need to do, I just simply need to copy this and paste it here, and probably before the email as well here. Okay, so this part is working. I have to say U, and then H, probably 2. Profile, H2, and then closing U tag, closing H2 tag here. If I save this guy and reload the page, I should see the whatever I observed. But H2 probably is too big. I have to go to the H3, save it. Let's see that. Yeah, this is much better. Okay, so but at least I received this bulleting here. See, I see these bullets, whatever is shown in the resume. After that, you can have some text on the profile. It's not a big deal. Okay, don't forget to put some BR tags, otherwise it will be BR. Okay. Now, what happens next is, if you go into the presentation, you see that we have a list of items here, which are difficult to create with pure HTML. So what we need to do, we need to create invisible table here and populate each, consisting of 3 columns and 1 row, and populate each cell with the list. Okay? When you create a list, you get kind of a bulleted list. Or if you can change the bulleted list, but you cannot create the triangles as shown here. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to create another image which will be triangle. How to do that? Let's see. If you're still interested in these triangles, let's go to Paint, Accessories, Paint, and then this is my image. I'm saying View, Zoom, custom size, and I'm selecting 800%. So this is my canvas. Okay, so what I need to do, I'm just selecting this line and then creating triangles. You see that since I increased the size, the zoom, I cannot, actually each dot becomes bigger. These are actually, each click is a dot, and then I say here, here, and here. Okay. That will become my triangle, and then I have to fill this, guys, so it will be nicely looking. Okay, this is very zoomed image. If I go to the normal size, View, Zoom, normal size, it will look like a triangle. It's probably difficult to see here, but it will show correctly in the HTML page. So I have to save it, save as, and then say HTML class, and then I say it's not a spacer, it's a GIF image, and I say it triangle .gif. Okay, so pretty much it. Okay, so in your HTML code you have to refer to that. For example, let's see if it's working, just out of curiosity. Yes, we are going to, I mean, this one?
Yeah, no, this, yes.
Okay. Center. Center. Okay, so spacer, it's not a spacer, but triangle. Okay, let's see if it's working correctly. No, something incorrectly. Specify incorrectly. Oh, image. Image is missing. MG source. Okay, let's go here. Yeah, I got it. I got this triangle, very nice looking triangle. I can increase the page size, so you'll see Alt plus. See, I increase the font size of the page, and you see that it appears as a very nice triangle. And these images appearing are a very nice diamond shape images. Okay, so it's working. Okay, so said that. Next is just to create the. Let's go to the presentation. Create the invisible image and populate these items with the perpendicular images which is triangle. Okay. After that, the problem is almost solved. Okay, no big deal here. So next item which I like to show is not frames, because frames are not used anymore. It was very popular before, but not anymore. Not because only of the technical point, but for legal point as well. So what we are going to talk about today is also HTML5, because you probably heard about that. Okay, so the HTML which we're covering during the class was HTML 4.2. That standard was in place for more than 10 years, okay, and it was not changed. And a lot of things happened since past 10 years, and then HTML should actually address these changes. So if you look back what happens in the beginning of 2000 or at the end of 2000, you will see web definitely changed drastically. Nowadays what we do, we're actually chatting on the web, right? We're using streaming, using new technologies and so on. Definitely all these technologies should have better support. So before it was used to do some kind of tricks and hacks to support all these technologies. But you know, if you're creating new standards, definitely it will be much better if we incorporate these techniques into the new standard. But actually the work was started not from the supporting streaming and for supporting chat. Work started from the point what is actually people are demanding. What are people, I mean webmasters and the consumers of the web pages are requiring. That was actually a very difficult task, because if you go to the companies, each company will give you their own list of requirements, and that will be a mess. It would be much nicer if you could analyze independently, kind of, you know, unbiased parties, okay, see what actually exists in the real world, in the World Wide Web, and then follow that. So analysis was done, and actually they analyzed almost 2 million different websites. And then they came to this following conclusion. Let's see if I have this page. No. Yeah, this one. This is actually a good page. I like to have it shown. Okay, so what happens is that they analyzed these 2 million different websites, and they came to kind of a generic standard, generic format, which is mostly used on these 2 million web pages. And the formatting of the following. So every single page would have, say, header, where you put some kind of a company information or whatever. And then a page actually has some navigational toolbar, and they have kind of a section here where you put some articles, news, and whatever. And then you have a right part which is called a site. You may have some kind of advertisement or whatever there, and also you have footer part. Okay, these parts were created using the different techniques, different tags, using JavaScript or whatever. But you know, since people are requiring, and majority of the people are creating this page split into these following sections, then it's a good idea to support it, right? Straight in HTML. So that was indeed done. And then if you create an HTML document in the HTML5 format, you basically can say header, navigation section, and this part will be created automatically for you. You don't need to go and hack it or create some kind of a sections, whatever. That's already will be incorporated. And indeed, it was done. Besides that, some elements, some tags were obsolete. They were not used, and that's why they were removed from the new HTML standard. And the new elements were made in. For example, chat is very popular, right? So people used to chat there. To include this chat element there. If you like to create a chat, you basically specify that chat tag, and then chat will be created automatically, which is very nice features. Okay. Unfortunately, not all browsers now support HTML5. It takes some time, but in a year from now, I will see that majority of the browsers will support. and you will be in HTML5 world. Okay, and we definitely should support the previous version 4.2 for some period of time, extended period of time. Okay, so this is a good article. I suggest to go and read that. But also another moment, like these are how to specify header and so on. I like to demonstrate that. Yeah, audio and video support. For example, if you like to play something, before you had to incorporate some very complex URL, do some tricks and hacks. Here, this element is automatically created. Okay, as soon as you specify audio tag, this is a new tag. We didn't have that in HTML 4.2. This control is automatically created. What you need to specify is an attribute, what you are going to play. And this control will automatically be created for you. Okay, before you kind of have to incorporate some other techniques, incorporate some modules, whatever, it's not needed anymore. Okay, and you can have different styles, not only this plain style, you can change the style. Same with the video. Okay, video tag, as soon as you incorporate that, specify the URL, it's done. Okay, it's very easy. When I started with the streaming, that was very difficult to do actually. Nowadays, it's a piece of cake. Okay, and then it can also remember when you stop it. So actually, it has a kind of a bookmark tunnel. And this they have different attributes. For example, autoplay, loop. So basically, if you like some song, you can keep playing it. Okay, if you like to. Also, same with the video. As soon as you specify video and controls, you are going to have this kind of mini TV in your page. Okay, very easy. It doesn't require a lot of techniques, a lot of coding. So basically, you have the following attributes here, and then they will be actually adjusted automatically. So that's and also support of the older browsers. That's actually HTML5 in a nutshell. Okay, so you can read about this article, and then you are not going to learn a lot more. Okay, basically you have to remember that new elements were made in HTML5, like video, chat, organizing the web page is easier, and some old tags were removed. Okay, that's pretty much it. And also the performance is definitely improved, much more improved. Okay, so this the difference. But HTML 4.2 will be alive, will be kept alive for extended period of time. We are going to see that probably in next five years, I believe. So, okay, yes.
Does HTML5 have the same extension? So it's going to be
same document extension, no changes in that, and then it basically will support more elements. For example, if you download Mozilla 11, it supports HTML5. You can create HTML pages in HTML5, and that will be shown as is. It's very nice features. Actually, graphic is much better also in HTML5. That's visual effect. But because a lot of pages were created in 4.2, the transition is not so easy. Okay, only new features. For example, if you support a lot of rich contents like streaming, video, whatever, it makes sense to start coding in HTML immediately, HTML5. Okay, but if you have HTML 4.2, companies will be reluctant to do that immediately. Okay, that's what I'm saying. This process may take some extended period of time, but some browsers already started to support. Okay, and you may see some job descriptions saying HTML5. They'll list that.